The Young Thug YSL RICO trial might have just changed in favor of Thug. Thug's lawyer Brian Steele has filed an updated motion in limine to strike. He cites a Supreme Court of Georgia case where a murder conviction was overturned because the jury was showed a music video. So this Georgia Supreme Court overturned a conviction, and now the judge is going to have to look at this motion and decide if the probative value is worth the risk. Because this guy's murder conviction just got completely overturned because he's in a music video and they showed it to the jury, and he's not the artist. He just has a gun in the music video and they showed it to the jury. I'm going to read through everything though, so buckle up, hit subscribe. Here we go. So Thug's lawyer Brian Steele filed supplement to motion in limine number 2, motion to strike. Comes now, Jeffrey Williams buying through undersigned counsel, and hereby files the supplement to motion in limine number 2, motion to strike in the above referenced case. 1. Mr. Williams is innocent of all charged in the above referenced indictment. This honorable court conditionally admitted evidence of rap videos and musical lyrics if the prosecution can lay a proper foundation. Mr. Williams argued that the admission of these items without foundation that these specific lyrics, videos, words, and other artistic expression violates constitutional and statutory provisions. So we all saw Brian Steele argue that these lyrics shouldn't be in the court because it's an art form, and that there's not really any proof that Thug even actually wrote these lyrics because tons of rappers use ghostwriters and whatnot, but it's an art form. And he compares it to actors and authors of books and all that shit. And then he cites Baker vs. State, decided March 5th, 2024. Has a wonderful analysis. Evidence pertaining to a video of rap music. In Baker vs. State, lyrics were not at issue because the words in the rap video were mostly indiscernible. Regardless, our highest court, in a 7-2 opinion, reversed murder convictions from Houston County, Georgia, based upon the fact that the trial court abused its discretion, not in hindsight, but at the time of the trial on the admission of evidence by introducing the evidence as intrinsic evidence, as same did not complete the story as well as under the act evidence because this evidence added little, if any, probative value to the case. So basically this music video and lyrics didn't add enough probative value, and it was more prejudicial than anything in this Baker vs. State case. Without the prosecution knowing who wrote the lyrics at issue when the lyrics were written, when the lyrics were produced, who potentially changed any lyrics, what was the intention of the lyrics, what was the mindset of the person speaking the lyrics, who authorized and promoted and orchestrated the music videos, whether they were real guns or not, whether music videos were done for promotional purposes or the like. Mr. Williams again asked the honorable court to exclude any and all of states' requested evidence pursuant to the constitutional provisions previously argued, as the evidence is merely an attack on the character/propensity. Okay. Honestly, solid points from Brian Steele though right here. I mean, the lyrics could be anyone's lyrics. There could be a ghostwriter involved. They don't know if the guns are real. Like, putting music videos in is a dangerous game. It makes no difference that Mr. Williams is charged in count 1, a RICO conspiracy count, and other counts with a gang act, as the gang act evidence must go to gun or drugs except for one count, which simply names murder, armed robbery, and other crimes. This is not the type of gang act evidence that needs to be coming to the trial, as some violates the law. This evidence clearly takes legitimate artist's work and criminalizes the same, and the prosecution is attempting to make a mockery of art and transform some into crime without any lawful connection. Yeah. I've always disliked that too. Like, the lyrics have to be connected to the crimes they're accused of. The one lyric that I thought was iffy was them saying, "I shot at your Tahoe," for Donovan Thomas. I believe his Donovan Thomas got shot at and his Tahoe got shot up. Like, there's a connection there. But other lyrics where they're just talking about selling drugs or guns or something, like, there's no actual real connection to the crimes. They shouldn't have been able to show the jury that because it could be prejudicial. So this is the case right here that Brian Steele just cited in his motion to strike. Georgia Supreme Court overturns murder verdict in Houston County over a rap music video. The shooting happened in 2019 outside Club Boss on North Davis Drive. So he apparently murdered a guard at Warner Robins nightclub. A majority of the judges say the prosecutors prejudiced the jury by playing a rap video featuring suspect Morgan Baker. They say the trial judge was wrong to allow them to play it, as a McDonald's ad plays. 2 years ago, Houston County jury convicted Baker of shooting Tamarco Head in 2019. Head was killed during a fight outside the club. Baker worked for a rapper named No Cap. Wait, this is about No Cap? Wait. I didn't know No Cap was involved in this. No Cap is one of the best lyricists of our time. This is so random. Who performed at the club that night. The video for the song Ghetto Angels showed Baker waving a semi-automatic pistol. A majority of the judges said the video wasn't relevant to the shooting and may have swayed the jury. 2 judges disagreed, saying the other evidence against Baker was strong. The decision sends Baker's case back to Houston County for a possible retrial. Baker, a road manager and longtime personal friend of No Cap, was tried and convicted of murdering him. They say Baker Baker went out the front door with the rest of the roughly 500-person crowd, but he wanted to leave with the rest of No Cap's 10-person entourage. The prosecution argued Baker got mad at Head, the guy that died, is named Head, so that's a little confusing, for not letting him back in, and they got into a confrontation. According to the prosecutor, Baker and another person would end up shooting and killing the security guard 3 minutes later. Mr. Williams wanted this honorable court to be aware of this newest opinion of the highest court in the great state of Georgia, and attaches a copy of same hereto for the ease of the parties. Hence, Mr. Williams respectfully requests another hearing on this motion, as this honorable court has already indicated the same would occur and incorporate Baker v. State. So this is about the case that got overturned right here. And bro, the jury has already seen videos of Thug throwing up gang signs and has a gun and shit in his hand. I know it's not a music video, but this is pretty much damn near. The guy was just in a No Cap music video and they showed it to the jury. Like, and his friend who was a rapper named No Cap, he's in the music video. Why would they show it to the jury? So weird. On redirect, the prosecutor introduced the 33-second long portion of the rap music video, which the trial court admitted into evidence over trial counsel's renewed objection. And the prosecutor played the video for the jury. The first few seconds of the video showed Baker waving a black handgun, pointing at the camera, and motioning as if he was shooting the gun while 3 other men rapped and made hand gestures. The video then showed Baker, Crawford, and about a dozen other men singing and dancing on a round car. Okay. In contrast to the exceedingly low probative value of rap music video, the prejudice flowing from the evidence of the state presented that Baker waved a handgun, pointed it directly at the camera, and mimicked shooting the gun while rapping on a street with a large group of men, some of whom also brandished guns and made hand signs, was high. As the trial court noted in discussing the rap music video at trial, outside the presence of the jury, the video was glorifying violence and gun violence and a sort of street life glamorizing it. Yet the record shows that the trial court's failure to recognize the danger of unfair prejudice from the video when it ruled on its admissibility enabled the state's improper use of the video throughout the trial. See, that sentence right there, that's what concerns me, because Judge Glanville has always gone in favor of what the higher courts say. So I could see him throwing out all these lyrics and everything, but they've already showed the jury all these lyrics and everything. So the jury's gonna have to disregard all the lyrics that she screamed to tick. Remember that? They're gonna have to disregard a lot of things, but it's gonna be hard to do that as a jury. Shout out Thugger Daily for all these tweets. Obviously, that's where I'm getting all this information. It's Thugger Daily. Great Twitter. In that case, the music video had very little prosecutorial use for proving the murder in comparison to the prejudice. Not a lawyer, but I can see some parallels to this and the sheer amount of rap lyrics used over and over to show a link to the conspiracy. Take this example of a lyric they use against Gunna, for example. Nowhere in this entire case do they accuse Gunna of illegal gun possession or shooting someone, yet somehow the state was able to use his lyrics. We got 1,000 round choppers against everyone in the case. So this is an overt act, I believe, right here. Defendant Sergio Kitchens, an associate of YSL, did appear in a video released on social media entitled Fox 5 wearing a YSL pendant and slap pendant with a lyric stating, "We get 100 round choppers," and overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. So somehow they're able to add these little lyrics and everything left and right, but the Supreme Court of Georgia just overturned a murder conviction because lyrics were shown in the jury. So this guy actually has a good point. I think a big difference is that in this case it appears they aren't using the lyrics against the defendant, instead focusing on his actions waving the gun. The footnotes say his actions aren't biographical and don't show his intent, unlike lyrics can be argued to. Still W though. That's a good point. So yeah, there is different distinctions here. The cases are different. Either way, the judge is gonna have to look at this and really consider, because this could work up an appeal for Thug at some point. If he's convicted, Brian Steele could appeal at a later date and be like, yo, you showed all these lyrics. You weren't supposed to do that. We're gonna have to do a retrial, motherfucker. This is big news for Thug if he's convicted. There's already a lot of routes for them to try to file for an appeal if he's convicted. I mean, this is huge. So I just found this news clip and we're going to watch it real quick, see if I missed anything.
The High Court made its decision after a middle Georgia trial where a man was sentenced partly because he appeared in a rap music video. Atlanta News First Rachel Aragon is live tonight outside the Fulton County Courthouse.
Rachel, are there similarities to the YSL trial that you've been covering for weeks?
Yeah, it really depends on who you ask, but one thing is for sure, there are plenty of opinions on whether or not rap lyrics and rap videos should be allowed as evidence in trials.
Why do they talk like that, bro? And here's Fonnie Willis, oh boy.
I have some legal advice. Don't confess to crimes on rap lyrics if you do not want them used.
In the last year, there's been a lot of debate about the use of rap lyrics and videos as evidence in trials.
For too long, artists have been unfairly targeted by prosecutors.
In November, the judge overseeing rapper Young Thug's historic trial ruled some of the artist's lyrics will be conditionally admitted in court.
Depending upon or subject to a foundation that is properly laid.
See, he always said you need to lay proper foundation to introduce lyrics, but then he let her introduce like tons of Like, dude, there's like hundreds of lyrics introduced.
But will the Georgia State Supreme Court's decision to overturn a man's murder conviction over the use of a rap music video during trial have any influence on the YSL trial?
This case is about his lyrics.
Attorney Leah Abbasi, who's been following the YSL trial and stood before the judge for one of the motion hearings, says there are big differences between the Morgan Baker trial, which focused on what appears in a rap video, and the case against Young Thug, where the focus has been on his rap lyrics.
The state is trying to say that Young Thug's lyrics are autobiographical. They're talking about things that he has done. When the video at issue in there was no even argument that Baker had any experience or any connections with what the lyrics were.
The other big difference?
The defendant in Baker, the case which was just decided, he didn't produce the video, he didn't write the lyrics, he really didn't have any control over what was in the video.
That's the distinction I point out earlier, that the YSL trial is mainly focused on the lyrics. This guy was just a video of him, throwing a gun around, but he wasn't even the artist of the video. So that's the distinction, but still, Brian Steele pointing this out in a motion to strike is still a big deal no matter what, trust me. Like, the judge is gonna have to decide on this. So here's the No Cap music video of Ghetto Angels. Apparently he flashes a gun in this at some point, but he's not even, like, this is No Cap, it's his friend. Like, he's not the artist, and he has a gun in the music video. That's it. But yeah, that was him at some point in that music video throwing up a gun. Still a big deal that Brian still cited this case, because the judge is gonna have to rule on it. I think it could change the case. It really could. If the judge sees this and doesn't want to risk it, you really never know. If I were to guess, maybe he doesn't let them show music videos. Like, that's my guess. He's like, all right, no music videos, but you can show the lyrics. Hit subscribe, comment down below what you guys think. Like the video right now. Peace out, boys.